Adventures in time and space, told in future tense. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, bring you Dimension X. It happened during a routine skirmish in the Great War. Patrols advanced from the defense perimeter under jet cover and preceded by napalm throwers. The enemy defended in depth and mopped up with guided 98s fired from 40 miles to the rear. The blast area was 10 miles in circumference, and the medics didn't find much to pick up over 500 yards in.
Take it in here. Look out, it's lousy with mud.
Okay, man, right me.
More. That left.
Okay.
More.
Wait.
Hold it. Stretchers. Come on, Travers, get those men out. Yes, sir. Get a move on, line them up. Come on. Easy. You want to kill him? Okay, take it away. Might have left these Joes where they was. Half of them won't last till the plane comes.
As long as they're alive, they'll be treated. Get out the tags, Travis. Start talking names.
Yes, sir. This one must have been 1,000 yards in.
Get his dog tag out.
What a mess. Here. Hartley Allen, Captain G5, Chem Research, AN73D, number SO238694003J.
Alan Hartley?
Alan Hartley.
I wonder if that could be the Hartley that wrote Children of the Mist and Conqueror's Road.
Never heard of him. Major, I think maybe he's part conscious. Maybe I should give him another shot.
Go ahead, Sergeant. There isn't much else we can do for him. It's a rotten shame.
Ain't it always? Okay, Captain, give me your arm.
There.
Get up, Alan. You can't stay in bed all day.
I remember that. Clear as if it were real.
Up and at 'em. Hit the deck.
Remarkably vivid. Strange.
Alan, you all right?
I'm all right. What's wrong with my voice? It's too high.
What are you doing? Practicing singing?
My voice has changed.
Is that all? You're growing up. Happy birthday, son.
Happy birthday?
Hey, wake up, son. Wake up.
I am awake.
Come on, out of bed.
I don't understand.
Breakfast waiting. Now, out of bed or I'll turn it over.
All right. It's a dream.
Maybe, but you're wide awake now.
I am awake now.
Well, half awake anyway.
That's the bell of St. Boniface, isn't it? What day is it?
You kidding? You forget today's your birthday?
No, I didn't forget.
Neither did I. Here, son. Happy 13th birthday. You won't guess what's in here.
A rifle. A light .22 rifle.
How'd you know that?
I remembered.
Did I spill the beans sometime? I could have sworn it'd be a surprise. Well, go on, open it. Like it?
Yeah, it's perfect, Dad.
I'll be shaving, Alan. Come down to breakfast when you're ready. It's a big day today. You're almost a man.
Almost.
You're still groggy. Snap out of it, Alan.
I will. There's a dream in it somewhere. But I'm not sure which.
What?
Never mind, Dad. I'll be right down for breakfast.
Now for coffee. Mrs. Stauber makes the best in town.
A black for me.
A what?
Oh,
You may be 13, Alan, but they're still a little young for coffee, especially black.
Oh, I wasn't thinking.
What are you going to do today, son?
I want to do some reading this morning, I guess.
That's always a good thing to do. After breakfast, suppose you take a walk down to the station and get me a Times.
Didn't it come?
What, the Times? They don't deliver. Be a good idea, though. Maybe I'll talk to Sam Ashburn about it. Here's a $50, Alan. Get anything you want for yourself out of the change.
Thanks, Dad.
Finish your milk before you go.
Oh, sure, Dad.
And hurry back. I like to finish the crossword puzzle before lunch.
Here you are, Alan. 1 times. Tell your father the puzzle's a stinker.
Thanks, Mr. Ashburn.
Look out for the trucks when you cross the highway.
Oh, I'll go across Elton's lot shortcut.
Elton's? You'll have a hard time crossing there, son. There's 4 buildings on that block.
I thought they burned down.
Seen 'em this morning, big as life.
Oh, I guess that didn't happen yet.
What'd you say?
Oh, nothing, Mr. Ashburn. I was just muttering.
In my days, youngsters talked up.
Yes, sir. Bye, Mr. Ashburn. Monday, August 6, 1945. Okinawa 1, bombing Japan.
Hey, Alan, wait up.
Larry Morton. Hiya, Larry.
Hi, Al. Hey, you want to have a catch or something?
No, I have some things I want to do at home.
Wow, get him. Fancy pants talk. Things I want to do at home.
Oh, go chase yourself around the block.
Go jump in a garbage can, will you?
Go take a flying jet to the moon.
Hey, that's a new one. A flying jet to the moon. Hey, you thought up a new one, Al.
Yeah.
Hey, how about us going swimming at the canoe clubs after?
Gee, I wish I could. I gotta stay home. After.
You see the football movie at the Grand? Boy, what a team. Notre Dame.
I thought you liked Cornell.
Cornell? Ha, they couldn't even beat Vassar.
You're going to Cornell, aren't you?
Me? Cornell? Fat chance.
I'll bet you do.
I wouldn't take your money.
I know you wouldn't. You'll go to Cornell, all right.
Cornell. Far above Cayuga's waters, there's an awful smell.
Just the same, you'll go to Cornell. I've got to hurry, Larry.
Well, so long, Al. See ya.
So long, Larry. See ya.
I'm stuck in this corner. A 7-letter word to mix in proportion.
Titrate.
Huh? T-I... It fits. How'd you know that, Alan?
What? Oh, I read it somewhere, I guess.
Oh. What are you reading now, Tarzan again?
No, not Tarzan.
It's refreshing to see you with a book. Sometimes I think I ought to forbid comic books in the house. Yeah, they must be raising the devil with those bombing raids in Japan.
How long do you think the war in Japan will last, Dad?
Oh, I'd say the middle of 1946. We'll have to invade those islands foot by foot.
I wouldn't be surprised if the war was over very suddenly.
How, by magic? There isn't a thing on earth will make those Japanese surrender. You expect somebody to make a pass and it'll be all over by this afternoon?
That's just about it.
Mr. Hartley, excuse me. Could I see you for a minute?
Oh, hello, Mr. Gutchall. Sure.
That's Frank Cutchall, Dad?
That's right.
Excuse me. Didn't mean to disturb you, Mr. Hartley.
That's quite all right. It's a lovely day, isn't it, Mr. Gutchall?
The Lord's world is always beautiful.
Oh, of course, Mr. Gutchall.
Mr. Hartley, I wonder if you could lend me a gun and some bullets.
Huh?
My little dog's been hurt and it's been suffering something terrible.
Oh, that's too bad.
I want a gun to put the poor thing out of its pain.
Oh, of course. How would a 20-gauge shotgun do? You wouldn't want anything heavy.
I was hoping you'd let me have a little gun. Maybe so big.
A pistol?
So I could put it in my pocket. Wouldn't look right for a godly man to carry a hunting gun through town.
I don't hold with killing innocent creatures. People wouldn't understand that it was for a work of mercy.
Of course, I understand. You're a very religious man.
The whole world is evil, Mr. Hartley.
Well, sometimes it certainly looks like it. Well, I have a Colt 38 special from the auxiliary police outfit.
That's fine.
You'll have to bring it right back, Mr. Gutchall. I might be called out.
Dad,
Hmm?
Dad, wait a minute. I just remembered.
Remembered what, son?
Aren't there some cartridges left for the Luger? Then you wouldn't be without the Colt.
Hey, that's right. I've got a German automatic, Mr. Gutchall, I could let you have. That way I wouldn't get stuck.
Wait, Dad, I'll get it. I know where the cartridges are.
Well, be careful, son. Well, Mr. Gutchall, it sure turned out nice after all that rain.
Hello, police headquarters. This is Blake Hartley. Frank Gutchall, who lives on Campbell Street, has just borrowed a gun from me ostensibly to shoot a dog. What? No, he has no dog. He intends shooting his wife. Yes, I'll take out the firing pin. He'll walk home. If you hurry, you can get a man there on time. Right.
Oh, there you are. What kept you, Alan?
I couldn't find the cartridges at first. I'll show Mr. Gutchall how it works. It's all loaded, ready to shoot. This is the safety, and just push it forward and up. There are 8 shots in it.
Did you load the chamber, Alan?
Oh, sure. It's unsafe now. You understand how it works, Mr. Gutchall?
Yes, I understand. Thank you, Mr. Hartley. Thank you, Sonny. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Gutchall. Return the gun when you're done.
Yes, I'll be done with it soon. Goodbye.
Alan, you shouldn't have loaded that gun.
I guess it's all over now. I had to keep you from fooling with it. Didn't want you to see I took out the firing pin.
You what?
Gutchall didn't want that gun to shoot a dog. He's a fanatic. He sees visions, hears voices. The voices probably put him up to this. I'll submit that any man who holds intimate conversations with disembodied spirits isn't to be trusted with a gun. He wants to shoot his wife.
What are you talking about?
While I was upstairs, I called the police. I put a handkerchief over my mouth and told them I was you.
Why'd you have to do that?
I couldn't have told them this is little Alan Hartley, 13 years old.
And suppose he really wants to shoot a dog, what kind of a mess will I be in then?
No mess, because I'm right. But you'll have to front for me. They give me a lot of cheap boy hero publicity, which I don't want.
This is crazy, Alan. This is absolutely crazy.
We'll have the complete returns in 20 minutes.
Mr. Hartley, Mr. Blake Hartley?
That's right.
I'm Detective Sergeant Kaborski from Homicide. Here's your Luger.
Thank you.
I don't know how you spotted that guy, but when we busted in, he was pointing that gun at his wife, swearing a blue streak because it wouldn't go off.
Well, I'm glad I was able to help.
They may have some kind of citation, Mr. Hartley.
Oh, I don't think that's necessary.
Well, in the department, we figure a little publicity never hurt nobody. Even a lawyer, huh?
I really prefer to have it kept quiet.
Well, whatever you say. We'll want you to drop around in the morning for a statement.
I'll be glad to.
Well, thanks, Mr. Hartley. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Sonny.
Goodbye, Sergeant. Why don't you take the citation, Dad?
Well, you were right. You saved that woman's life. Let's see you put back the firing pin.
Sure. There.
Suppose we have a little talk.
But I explained everything.
You did not. Yesterday, you wouldn't even have known how to take this pistol apart. Today, you've been using language and expressing ideas that are outside of everything you've ever known before. Now, I want to know,
I hope you're not toying with a medieval notion of obsession.
What?
You say I'm changed. When did you first notice this?
Last night you were still my little boy. This morning, I don't know. You've been strange all day. Alan, what's happened to you?
I wish I could be sure myself, Dad. You see, when I woke up this morning, all I could remember was lying on a stretcher, injured by a bomb explosion. I was 43 years old, and the year was 1975.
1975? That's right. You'll be 43 in 1975. But a bomb?
Yes, during the siege of Buffalo in the Third World War. I was a captain in G5 Scientific Warfare General Staff.
Buffalo? You mean Buffalo, New York?
Yes, there had been a transpolar invasion of Canada. I was sent to the front to check on service failures of a new lubricating oil. I got hit by a bomb blast. I remember being picked up and getting a narcotic injection. The next thing I knew, I was in bed upstairs, and it was 1945 again. And I was back in my own 13-year-old body.
Alan, you just had a nightmare to end all nightmares, that's all.
I thought it might be that at first, but I rejected it. It wouldn't fit the facts.
Well, it's ridiculous. All this Battle of Buffalo stuff. You picked it up listening to the radio. All the commentators have been going on about another war after this one. You've just got an undigested chunk of H.V. Calvin born in your subconscious.
But that isn't everything. I remember 4 years of high school, 4 years at Cornell, 7 years as a reporter on the Philadelphia Record, 3 novels, Children of the Mist, Rose of Death, and Conqueror's Road. I wrote detective stories under a phony name. I worked in chemistry. You think a 13-year-old can dream up all that stuff?
Well, it's the only possible explanation.
Maybe, but I can speak 5 languages today that I couldn't yesterday. French, German, Chinese, Russian, and Spanish. Although I've got a Mexican accent you could cut with a knife.
But how did it happen? I can't believe it.
All I know is here I am. I've been reading up on time theories. Nobody seems to know much about them. Evidently, time exists parallel as another dimension. And I've got kicked backwards and somehow...
But how?
It may have been the radiations from the bomb. Or the narcotic injection. Or both together. But the fact remains I'm here with full knowledge of my future identity.
This is quite a shock, Alan.
But you do believe me, don't you?
Yes, I suppose I must. You seem so strange, as if you weren't my son.
I'm your son, all right. The same body as yesterday. I've just had an educational shortcut.
Wait a minute. If you can remember the next 30 years, suppose you tell me when the war is going to end. This one against the Japs, I mean.
Sure. The Japanese surrender will be announced at exactly 7:01 p.m. on August 14th, a week from Tuesday. Better make sure we have plenty of grub in the house by then. Everything will be closed up tight till Thursday morning. Even the restaurants. I remember we had nothing to eat in the house but some scraps.
Tuesday week? That's pretty sudden, isn't it?
Not after today.
What do you mean, what happened today?
Plenty. Oh, what time is it, Dad?
11:16.
Is your watch right?
To the second, why?
It'll come at exactly 11:17:40.
What'll come?
The radio announcement.
What are you getting at? Something important on the radio? We'll see.
Don't bother, Dad. It won't work. I remember we had a tube burned out.
Now, there is something wrong. What is this announcement of yours?
I memorized it in journalism school at Columbia in 1954. What time is it?
11:18.
They're breaking into the programs now. President Truman has just announced that an atomic bomb has been dropped on the Japanese industrial city of Hiroshima. The bomb was dropped 16 hours ago, and the announcement was delayed to ascertain the results of the explosion. A man named John Howard Peterson read the announcement from the Washington newsroom of NBC.
I don't believe it.
No? Listen. That's the Burt Plate factory whistle and the bells at St. Boniface. Next, the whistle at the volunteer firehouse.
And it's true. It is true.
Sure. Then Larry Morton came by on his bicycle.
Hey, Al, did you hear about the bomb? An atomic bomb.
Yeah, we heard.
Boy, atomic bomb. Oh, boy. I gotta go find my pop. He's on the golf course. Bye, Al. Bye, Mr. Hartman.
You knew. You knew about it.
The next bomb hit Nagasaki.
I thought that stuff about atomic energy was so much fantasy. What? Was that the kind of bomb that got you?
That was a firecracker compared to the one that got me. It was a guided 98, exploded 10 miles away.
And that's going to happen in 30 years?
I remember it.
How about me? Oh, wait, never mind. I don't think I better know when I'm going to die.
I couldn't tell you anyway. I had a letter from you just before I left for the front. You were 78 then, and you were still hunting and fishing and flying your own plane.
But another war and fought on American soil. Alan, I wish this hadn't happened to you.
It happened. I remember it. But if I can help it, I'm not going to get killed in any Battle of Buffalo.
But if you remembered, if time exists as a parallel dimension, then every tick we're getting closer to that Third World War.
Dad, you know what I remembered when Gutcho came to borrow that gun?
Well, I suppose that you suspected him and warned me.
No, that wasn't it. The other time, the first time, when I was really 13. I wasn't home. I'd been swimming at the canoe club with Larry Morton. When I got home about half an hour from now, I found the house full of cops.
But if the gun didn't fire...
What makes you think it didn't? Gutcho talked the 38 out of you. Went home, shot his wife 4 times in the body, once behind the ear, and used the 6th shot to blow his own brains out.
That's what you remember?
Yes, but now it hasn't happened because I warned you. Dad, I found out the future can be changed.
One man can't change the whole future.
I stopped the murder and the suicide.
I know, son,
With
but...
30 years to work, I can stop a world war. I'll have the means.
The means?
Unlimited wealth and influence. I've got a good memory, Dad. Wrote a list out this afternoon. Look at this.
Assault, jet pilot, citation, Ponda, middle ground, counter... What is this, code?
Horses. That's a list of Kentucky Derby winners from 1946 to 1970.
You sure?
I learned that list on a bet at the Officers Club in Cincinnati in 1971. Assault paid 8-1. You figure out what we can take in.
Oh, but gambling,
This
son.
isn't it. Gambling, it's a sure thing. When we get rolling, we'll make the Rockefellers look like pikers.
Assault at 8-1. I suppose I could scrape up $5,000. In 10 years, that'll make a lot of money. Any other little thing you have in mind, Alan?
By 1952, we start building a political organization here in Pennsylvania. In 1960, I think we can elect you president.
Oh, of course. President? Isn't that going a little too far?
Why not? Who wouldn't vote for a politician who was always right? Besides, that's one thing we've got to change. In 1960, we had a man in the White House who was good to his wife and sang a nice tenor. And that's about all. He fouled up so completely we ended up at war. I think President Hartley might be a little more trusted to take a strong line.
But I don't know anything about international decisions.
I do. I know all the wrong ones. If we can stop a murder, with time we can stop a war.
How do I start?
Well, as I remember, just after that bomb announcement, you got a phone call from the City Fusion Party about the next election.
Well, there's a lot of talk about a reform ticket.
That call is going to be important, Dad. It's the turning point. You've got... There it is.
What do I do?
Answer it. Go ahead.
But, Alan,
Don't worry. I'll tell you what to say. Go ahead.
Hello? Yes, this is Blake Hartley. Judge Crimmins? Well, just a moment. Alan, he's asking me to run.
Oh, my head.
Alan, what's the matter? Alan.
Oh.
He passed out. Alan, what do I do now? Alan, listen to me. Alan, what's the matter? Alan!
Captain Hartley. Captain Hartley. Captain Hartley.
He was all right, Doctor. I gave him a shot and he was all right.
He's dead. All right, Sergeant, make out the tag.
Yes, sir.
Hartley Allen, Captain. Dead August 8, 1975.
Alan, what happened? Alan! Alan!
Huh?
Alan, are you all right?
Hi, Dad.
I've got Judge Crimmins on the phone. What do I tell him?
What?
Alan, are you all right? You passed out.
Sure, I'm all right. Hey, today's my birthday, isn't it? What did you get me, Dad? Huh? What did you get me?
Alan, are you all right?
Sure, I'm okay. What did you get for my birthday, huh?
Don't you remember the Third World War?
What Third World War? Gee, Dad, what's the matter? You're looking at me funny.
Judge Crimmins, I'll have to call you back. Goodbye. You don't remember. You're back again, aren't you? Back to 13 years old.
Sure, I'm 13 today. For corn's sakes, Dad.
You must have died up there. It was only a mind transfer. That means now I'm on my own. I have to do it myself without your help.
Help for what? Oh, if it's the grass, I said I'd cut it tomorrow.
No, it isn't the grass. I've got to save your life, Alan. I can't let you die that way in 1975.
What are you talking about, Dad? You sound goofy.
I've got to change it all by myself.
Change what?
Never mind, Alan. You don't know yet. Come on, let's have lunch.
Sure, Dad. Hey, how about my present now? What did you get me for my birthday?
Hey, in a minute, son. Go on in.
Hurry up, Dad.
All right. Now, where'd I put that list of horses?
You have just heard another adventure into the unknown world of the future. The world of...
Dimension.
Homecoming is a joyous word. But when the home you're returning to is a burned-out radioactive planet, and when you cannot even imagine what terrible changes you will find there, the word then takes on a very different meaning. Next week, Dimension X brings you a strange story called Dwellers in Silence.
Dimension X is brought to you each week by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of the magazine Astounding Science Fiction. Today, Dimension X has presented Time and Time Again, written for radio by Ernest Kenoy, and a story by H. Bean Piper. Featured in the cast were David Anderson as Alan and Joseph Curtin as his dad. Your host was Norman Rose, music by Albert Berman. Dimension X is produced by William Welch and directed by Fred Way.
Check, testing, fuck it. Merry Christmas.
Good morning. Merry Christmas. How you doing, everyone? What's going on? What's going on out there? Yeah. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. How are you? Good morning, holiday chicken. How are you? I don't want to talk. Where's my present? All right. Ace is still hiding in the tree. Doesn't want to come out. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Anybody want to tell me if I can get film for my Polaroid? Anybody? That would be nice. So, happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everyone. Usually I've got a lot to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm here to pump you up. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Harry! Merry Christmas, Harry! Yeah. I'm using a Christmas cup. Christmas mug. If you see right in here, it says Mary. Mary. Right there. Mary. That's it. That's all it says. It don't say nothing else. It looks like a sweater. The texture on this cup has the texture of a Christmas sweater. Like a knitted Christmas sweater. It's a totally cool mug. One of my 2 Christmas mugs. Here's one here. Merry and bright. That's another Christmas mug I have. I should have used it yesterday, because yesterday was Christmas Eve, but I weren't thinking. I just weren't thinking. No. I try not to do too much of that lately. I just kind of go on instinct, autopilot. I'm just too wrapped up in my own little world of pain to really care too much about thinking about it much. So what did we get for Christmas from the our mobile home park here? Another rent hike. We own our mobile home, but they here at this property, they raise the rent as often as they are legally allowed. Literally. It's like every few months we get a rent hike. For the past several years, we have gotten the maximum increase they can give us at the shortest amount of time they have to wait, right? So if they have to wait 4 months, it's every 4 months we get an increase. And they raise it up as high as they can go, which I think is like $25. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to phase out a lot of the riffraff here. People don't want rent hikes. Of course, nobody wants a rent hike, right? But at the same time, they have to increase the property value out here. So they're trying to get in better tenants, and they're trying to get in better mobile homes. And fix up the mobile homes that are here. If not, get rid of them, bring in something that looks good. They're doing this down at the other property that they have. This is a small park. I think we've got 25 or 30 spaces here in this park. It's not a lot. It's not really a lot. Nope. No. Most of them are full. There are some that are empty. Some that have trailers or mobile homes on them that are empty. Isn't that a bummer that there's empty houses all over the country? And there's homeless people all over the country, right? I get it. I was homeless. Most people, when faced with all of the horrendous ordeal of trying to live in an actual house these days, I understand why people are homeless. I totally get it. Some people don't want to be. Some people just refuse to go that route of having a home to live in because it costs too much. It just costs too much. You spend your whole life working to pay on something you never get to spend any time in, like your family. You never get to spend any time with your family because you spend your whole life working your ass off to take care of them. It's just a stupid, vicious cycle that needs to end. We put a stop to it. We just decided to start working for ourselves, and not work a lot. We live below the poverty line, right? But we actually get to see our daughter. We get to see each other. We get to spend time together, And I would rather have that than all the material crap in the world. I'm surrounded by stuff. I don't need any more stuff. If there's something I need, we'll try to get it. But what I really want is just to spend time with my family. Do I want to go out and work my ass off so that I can get things to show how much I care for them? Or do I just want to show them how much I care for them by being with them? Yeah. Yeah. Totally. It's just totally. Totally. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Vienna. Everything's still Vienna. I wonder what's going to happen when I'm doing my show from in here and I got to run the air conditioner because it's hot. I know that come middle of spring it's going to get blazing hot. Yep. Even in the mornings, yeah. Yes, sirree, Babarooney. Ooh, I uploaded half of the first week of February. I did all of the radio shows. Except for two. I did all of the radio shows except for two. 2 escapes. So I've got 2 episodes of Escape to upload and 5 educational films for the week of the February 3rd. Yeah, the 3rd to the 7th. I got some great ones. There's this one educational film for early February that's called Shake Hands with Danger. And it's a Caterpillar tractor safety film. And it's morbid. It's got all kinds of death and destruction and mayhem and blood and guts, and it's just crazy. Time Pulls the Trigger is kind of a long one, but it's about tobacco use and how it takes time to kill you with the use of tobacco, right? Another one called Year 1999, where it's like 1960, 59, 60, and they're looking at 1999, 30 years in the future. And wow, boy, did they get it wrong. A couple of the things they got right, but for the most part, where's my bloody future? Where's my future? This isn't the future I signed on for. I figured by the time I got here, we'd have flying cars, and food machines, and better places to live, and a better government, and a better social structure. But no, it's worse. It's just fucking worse. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Yeah. Covey. I would expect that at some point this morning I'll get somebody different coming by. Somebody who's not usually a viewer. Maybe more than once, because it's Christmas, it's a holiday. Pretty much almost everybody is not working. At some point, people are going to be on their phones and they're going to be going, oh look, this doofus is doing his show. Let's poke in and make fun of him. And so people will be watching, maybe even incognito, and be there checking out the situation, seeing what the hell I'm doing. I ain't doing anything. I'm not doing a big. You see this tree here? That's Christmas. I just set out a gift for my daughter under the tree. Like I said, we're not doing a big thing. She's at university now. It's hard to buy anything for her because her tastes are so different all the time. They're always changing. Oh, I'm not into that anymore. Okay. So I try to get something in the moment that I know that in the moment she's going to like it. So her mother and I got her a gift. And that's it. Nothing fancy, nothing big. The fact that we'll be able to spend time together, that's the big thing right there, because she's been so busy this last semester. She got straight A's, of course. And it paid off. But now we've had this like last week or so, and it's like a whole month we get to have together. It's great. We're going to a concert Saturday at Pappy and Harriet's. Big Sandy and his Fly Right boys. I still have to get out tomorrow and try to get that poster printed, so that maybe I'll get 2 printed. And I doubt that they actually print them, because I never see them anywhere. I think they have too many shows to have a printing department constantly printing posters for each frickin' show, right? With the internet and social media and smartphones and stuff now, it's just pointless, very, very pointless to print posters for advertising. Social media does that. It handles it. They fill those places up using social media. How do I want to find out about a show? My daughter and I, we check social media, we check their information. We don't pick up newspapers. We don't call movie phones to see what's coming on, right? We go to the phones. We go to the smartphones. So maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll get a couple printed out. and ask him to sign one and offer to give him a couple. Nothing fancy, just posters the right size. I don't know, 18. My daughter, she gets them printed out pretty. Well, she doesn't get them printed out. She's had one or two printed out because she couldn't get it. They ran out. So she got the first Harry Styles concert she went to. She got that one printed, I believe. Yeah. I don't have any. She gave me a poster for the Labyrinth movie, and we've got an ELO one. So what we'll do is we'll probably get some of hers out here that she just doesn't have room for, right? I'm sure I can find a few places on my wall in here, a couple of walls, to put up a couple of concert posters. I was just thinking, I've got so many photos and photo frames. It's going to be real difficult to keep everything out and displayed. I'm going to start rearranging the house again in here with the pictures and family stuff. So I got to shuffle my walls around. Yeah, I think I'll leave some of my celebrities on that wall over there, and just do a lot of family stuff on the wall, and the walls, the two corner walls, and the corner shelves. I think that's going to look really nice. Maybe I can, maybe that's something we can do over the next few days. Well, I was going to say because it's the holidays, but we're so busy over the next week because of the holiday. So, I think my daughter has to get out today at some point and deliver gifts to her friends because she doesn't get out much. If she drove, of course, she'd be out all the time. But well, maybe not. She's a homebody like me. She loves her room. She loves the things in her room. She loves getting out of her room through her phone and through her computer and through her gaming, which is very cool. I didn't have that. I didn't have that escape. If I was alone, I was alone. And it's very cool that she's got the ability to get out and be with people and still be in her room. You know, just like this. I'm able to get out and do stuff from right here. I can spread the message from sitting in this chair. Good morning. How are you this morning? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Harry. Merry Christmas. It's fantastic this morning. Holiday chicken, Ace. What? Yeah, Ace is grumpy because he got up early and he can't open gifts till everybody gets up. So he's just sitting there in the tree. Ace, the holiday chicken. I want to open my stuff. What makes you think you're going to get anything? Don't say that. You got to take off your mask first. I'm not taking it off. You know the kids that leave their Halloween mask on, like for the rest of the year, and you can't get them out of it. You know, you get called to the principal's office, and they're like, the kid won't take the mask off. I know. We've been talking to him about it, and we've almost got him convinced that he's got to take it off. You know, but he's a kooky little kid. It reminds me of that reboot Rob Zombie version of Halloween. I'm not a fan of reboots, and I'm not a fan of Rob Zombie films. It's just his shit's just too hardcore. That being said, Halloween is way too hardcore. Because the best part about Halloween, the first one, was I don't think there was any blood, right? There was very, very little blood used. And there were just a lot of close-ups of faces and stuff. And it's not like that in Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2. I like the young Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween. That's it. That's the only part about that whole film that I like, is that one kid, that one character, that one actor. The whole mask thing. That part I dig. Mainly because that kid reminds me so much of me. That kid, that actual kid, and him getting bullied and him fighting back. The only thing is that I didn't fight back when I was young. I got bullied a lot, but I didn't fight back. I was afraid to fight back, honestly. I got to a certain point when I was in the 5th or 6th grade where I started to be afraid of what would happen if somebody pissed me off to the point of me becoming angry, right? It's like the Hulk, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. And that's how I felt. I felt like a little mini Hulk. I felt like if I were to allow myself the freedom to express how pissed off I was at being bullied, that I would wake up out of a blackout with a kid under me just beat to shit, right? And I was scared. One time my brother and I got into an argument. He just wouldn't leave me alone, and I turned around and I bopped him in the nose, you know, and I didn't want to. He just wouldn't leave me alone, and I was so afraid because I didn't ever want to be physical like that, right? And I've spent my whole life trying to avoid those kinds of physical confrontations because I'm just so afraid of all of this shit bottled up coming out and me taking it out on somebody who does not deserve it, who does not deserve my wrath, basically, you know. So I avoid physical confrontation like the plague because, like I've said before, it's prison or the morgue. If I get into a brawl with somebody, you better fucking kill me. Because if you don't, I'm going to fucking kill you. Period. Right? Merry Christmas. But that's it. So that's why I don't. I really avoid it. Yeah, I'm going to fight for my life. So you better fight for yours. Yeah. It's a real thing, you know. Emotions are real. And I have been trying to deal with mine my entire life. With the big mystery of who the fuck am I, right? I don't really belong. One of these things is not like the other. That was me. That was me growing up. Not, oh, I'm different than everybody else. It's like I'm not from this family. This is not my family. There's something going on here. I was lied to. There's something going on. I would like it to be true, to be able to say mom and dad and actually feel it, but I never did. I never did. I really tried with my father, but I think that's because deep down inside I knew he wasn't really my father, right? And so I tried really, really hard. And it never got me anywhere. It never did. You know, he never treated me like anyone else in the family. And he was never honest with me. He would never just tell me shit honestly. It was always wrapped up in some kind of bullshit. And I knew there was something there that had to be said, right? And it got to the point to where, you know, I couldn't talk to him, yet he could, you know, go behind my back and talk to my wife, which ended our relationship for 10 years. But no. I don't know where the fuck I was going this. Well, I guess you start talking about family, and I start going wackadoo, because I don't know what the fuck that means. I know it now. I never knew what it meant back then. There's a lot of honesty in this family here. Because there has to be, or it just ain't family. And that's the one thing that I realized growing up, was there was never really any honesty between anybody in the family, between my mother and father, between them and me, between them and the other members of the family. There was never any honesty. It was all bullshit wrapped up in more bullshit. Everybody trying to get their own, right? Everybody always wanted a piece, the biggest piece for themselves, right? My father was always pushing off the pieces, saying, no, you guys, you know. But then that just made him hidden inside and, evasive. Shut off. Yeah. He never wanted family and kids. He wanted to do his own fucking thing. And he got stuck in this family thing. He almost had an escape, right? He almost stayed in Vietnam and had that escape. Which, how would that have been? I probably would have had a different sister, if any. And I would have never known him, right? Nor would I have really known. Maybe I would have known more had he not been around. Maybe it would have been easier to tell the truth without him around, because I think he knew right away that I wasn't his kid when he came back from Vietnam, right? He was in Vietnam when I was conceived. How could he possibly be my father, right? So I think he knew that when he came back, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? Who the hell is this kid? But having left a kid in Vietnam and a girlfriend, wife, whatever, I think it was easy for him to just say, okay, well, I'm just going to accept the kid because it ain't the kid's fault. And he saw a lot of kids in Vietnam whose fault it wasn't. And I think so therefore it was easy for him to accept me into the family. But at the same time, there should have been some truth at some point, right? And I think that's regardless of who my father was, whether it was a date baby or a date rape baby or a boyfriend on the side baby or an incest baby, Am I my own uncle? Fuck, I don't know. I gotta heat up my coffee. Boy, that would explain a lot. Which is why I tend to go with that one. Grandpa, incest, rape baby is probably what I am. There's a happy holiday thought right there. A little bit of taste of reality there. Yeah. Do I worry about it? No. I would have worried about it long ago had I known, which is probably why nobody ever told me, right? Do I care now? Not a fucking chance. My daughter's at university studying psychology. Do I think there's any chance that my fucked up genes have any bad effect on her? No, not now. I might have thought that before. I might have thought that at one point when I think the only thing my father ever said to me like that was, I shouldn't have children. What the fuck does that mean? What's this enigmatic, oh, by the way, you shouldn't have children? What does that mean? What, why? You gonna explain it to me? It was right about that time he started talking shit on me behind my back to my wife. And I said, you know what? Fuck you. I wrote him like pages and pages of fuck you. and gave it to him and moved. Said, you know, thanks for taking our family home here and making it pointless now. Which it probably was always pointless to him, which is probably why he never wanted kids, never wanted to be around us, wanted to get rid of us as soon as possible. Didn't chase me after I left at the age of 15, right? Yeah, there's a lot of shit that points to him not really being my father and me being really fucked up genetically, right? But do I care now? No, not really. It's just going to make for a great story, you know. I've come to terms with pretty much most of my emotional and mental issues, you know. You got no choice. You either deal with it or you... and I spent some of the 80s and most of the 90s, even some of the 2000s after I got married, contemplating suicide, right? It's just... sometimes a part of life is wondering about death, right? And in fact, I don't think I was really able to deal with life and death until I took that death and dying class back in 2014, 2015, something like that. My daughter took the same class from the college out here, from the same professor, and got like the same thing out of it, which is really, really cool. Because we've always been open with our daughter about death and dying and reality and being honest about everything, you know. Even so much as telling our daughter, look, if you feel like there's something weird going on at home between one of us, my wife and I would sit down together and have this talk with our daughter. If you feel like there's something going on here at home between us or you and us or you and another family member, and you don't feel comfortable coming to us and talking about it, you go to somebody that you trust and talk to them about it, a teacher, a friend, whatever. Because I didn't have that. I didn't have that growing up. I was always afraid to speak up and talk out. I was always afraid that I was going to get in trouble. You know, my parents would say, don't talk about our lives to anybody else because the government will come and they'll take you away and they'll put you in a home and you'll be mistreated and all this other. And there was a time when I thought, God, it couldn't be any worse than living here with you people. And I didn't want my daughter to ever think that she had no way out. You know, if she felt like she was trapped, right? So, because I never had that, we made sure to tell our daughter, you know, if you feel that something isn't right for you, you need to speak up. And if you can't talk to us, talk to somebody else and have them talk to us, right? The school nurse, right? Somebody, a friend's parent. I gotta heat up my coffee. Now that's raising a kid. Right back. Here, take a look at that. think I inadvertently woke the dogs. I stuck my head in to see if somebody was wanting to come out, and the dogs were like, what? So hopefully they'll go back to sleep. More and more lately, they're deciding to just stay in bed. There's no real reason to get up. Doesn't mean they won't. So I put down some more water. We use bottled water for the dogs. I don't know who out there gives their dogs tap water anymore, but we do not. It's like almost every dog who lives outside on the ground and drinks tap water winds up with some form of cancer. Mainly it's from sleeping on the ground where the radon and the radiation is coming up all the time. And also, there's a lot of crap in the water that'll give your dog cancer. So we don't give our dogs tap water. We do bottled water, fresh water, filtered water, that kind of stuff. It's bad enough they eat processed foods, which I would really like to get away from. I'm just stuck in a, this is what they like to eat. This is what they eat. They're big and healthy, and it's like, I know we need to change what they eat, but I don't know which way to go, because we've tried things, and wet food is bad for their teeth, and some of the processed healthy wet food is not really good. It's got too much like sodium and other things in it, and it makes the dogs really lethargic. So I don't know. I mean, I should probably put out the call on social media for a healthy dog food solution. We were making them food for a little while. We were making them a rice and chicken and vegetable mix, but it was too wet and gooey, right? And we'd have to mix it with kibble, and then we're right back to using kibble again, right? And then they were just getting big and fat and lazy. So I realized that they're big and fat and lazy now because they're inside dogs. They don't get out. They don't do anything. They just sit around and eat, sleep. So my wife shows me a video. She likes to sit on her phone and look at shit. I'm not into that. So she's, every once in a while, I will be on social media checking on pretty much this stuff, and I'll come across something that'll pop up, and it'll catch my eye, and I'll share it with her. But so she shows me this video of these chickens that are chickens and birds, mainly chickens, that are using these toys that throw out food when they hit it right, when they do these certain tasks. The chickens give themselves rewards, and I told her, you know what, we need to make some of those for the dogs, because they have those designs, find them like that for dogs, right? Take a couple of 2-liter bottles and cut them and turn them into each other and put them on a spool and put holes and fill them with kibble, and then the dog's got to spin it to get the kibble to drop out. Silly little stuff like that. A thing where the dog has to step on something and it opens up and kibble rolls out like a gumball machine type thing. Take treats and put them inside of things and hide them all over the yard, and then send the dogs out for treats, like an Easter egg hunt, right? And at first you got to walk them around and show them where all of the treats are hiding, and then eventually you just open the door and they come running out and they run to all of the spots. The fastest one gets the fattest, I guess. I could just imagine who that's going to be. Yeah. But if you go out the first couple of times and you take each dog in a different direction, going for a trail of treats, then they'll pretty much go to the same trail every time when they come out, right? Every dog will have its own little, I need to go here because that's where I found the treat the last 3 times. So let me go here. And this guy's going, no, I'm going over here because that's where I found my treats the last 3 times. So, and then make places. I really want to make a treehouse. With my freaking YouTube schedule eating up all of my spare time, I don't get much time I still haven't done my bedroom ceiling light. The plan is to work on it in the next couple of days before and after working on a house. So the girls are going to get up around 8 or 9 and we'll hang out and just hang out. I mean, I'm not expecting a big gift thing going on. So yeah, there you go. I think we're gonna do that ceiling light. We need to throw a tarp, a paint tarp over the bed in our room, get up on the ceiling and create the spot that's gonna hold the surface mounted light. Basically, it just attaches right to the ceiling. So I'll mark it off, create a circle spot, and then scrape that off because there's a bit of weird texture up there, and scrape it down smooth, and then so that the light goes up smooth, and then create a smooth trench tracks, a smooth line to attach the plastic stuff that you put run the wire through the conduit. The plastic, it's not a conduit, it's more of a wire concealer thing. It's got 2-sided tape on the back, and you can peel it, stick it up to the ceiling. So I need to make a smooth spot for that to stick to. I did one here, and I made it nice and smooth, and it took me a couple of days of going back over it a couple of times and pushing on it real hard, back and forth, but it seems to stay up good now. So I'm happy with that. So it was neat to do that, to run a ceiling light in our living room. It's a big, huge difference. We've been in here a few years and have had to use lamps, and it's just never, or a big light on a clip, just wasn't ever what we want. So now we can turn it on, have the dining table there, eat under it. My wife can sew under it, knit. I can sit over there and write. I was just doing my programming sitting over there at the table. It's nice. And then having a couch. We haven't had a couch since we first moved in and got a couch. And then we started moving stuff around, and the couch got old and funky because of the dogs, so we got rid of it. And then I rearranged this whole room in here to do this YouTube production, and it stayed like that for like a year before I got started with the actual YouTube productions, and then started doing my YouTube trailers for Elsinore Brothers Studio. Before Elsinore Brothers Studio was Elsinore Brothers Studio, it was just Elsinore Brothers. And now my studio consists of me sitting here jerking off with this video shit, making videos out of old borrowed content, and pretty much stroking my ego, I guess. I don't know, I guess that's what you could call it. But it's just, I have so much fun doing all of this. I don't see a whole lot of people watching compared to the rest of YouTube and what everybody else is watching on YouTube. There's not a lot of people watching stuff here. I can go to my stats here on YouTube real quick. Let me boot that up and go to YouTube, and I can look at my analytics and see Come on. Slow ass computer. There we go. Now we're going to YouTube. Now we're waiting for YouTube. Now we're at my page here. So I got 175 subscribers and over 1,000 videos. That's way offset. Usually people with a couple of hundred videos or 1,000 videos, they have like tens of thousands of subscribers. So there's something different there, which is cool. I've never got into this to be popular. I got into this to kind of curate my existence for posterity, right? It's like these are the things that make me me. And here's a whole bunch of stuff about me. Analytics. So let's see. Overview. And I am going to go for the lifetime of my channel. My channel has gotten 19,000 views so far. 19,096. That's almost 20,000 views so far on my channel. But that's over... That's since June of 2015, and I started uploading in (2022). I started loading in October of 2022. October 27, 22 was my first video. And since then, people have watched 2.4 thousand hours of my stuff. 112 views in the last 48 hours. That's okay, that's pretty good. My most popular video is a Grateful Dead concert audio video. Uploaded this year, and it's gotten 1,400 views. Average view duration out of that is about 13 minutes. Yeah. And then the next popular one is 1,000, and that's a Nero Wolf episode. And then the 7th most popular video is my own creation, and that's an Elsinore Brothers trailer that's about 5 minutes long. And it's almost 300 views. And people watch pretty much almost the whole thing. Well, they watch a third, 32%, almost 33% of it. So that's something. But, you know, like I said, I would get excited at first about the numbers and going up, and then I get bummed when they come down. Then they go up, yeah, I get excited, and then they come down, bummer. And then I stopped concerning myself with the numbers, right? It is what it is. I'm not here. I don't have a commercial thing. It's not monetized. I'm not advertising. I'm not picked up on most of the live stream feed things. I'm not pushed on a lot of people because I'm not that popular. So therefore the unpopular stuff doesn't get popularized. So once again, I belong to a clique of misfits who don't really work on YouTube. But I have a lot of fun. And the people who do watch, I think they enjoy it. I think they do. I am going to go to my mensajes, my messages here. My notifications. And I've got a notification from someone. Here we go. And it is from Santino Florence. And this is from watching Minecraft Monday, episode 14, the last episode that I did. Great content, as always. Could you help me with something unrelated? And here is this again. My OKX wallet holds some USTD, and I have the seed phrase, alarm fetch. I'm not going to read that. I don't know how you transfer stuff from one place to another. I have no idea what this means. I have no idea what the heck this means. That's it. That's all there is to it, yeah? That's the face. That's the face I want to leave. That's the face. I don't know who this person is. Oh, it's one of those people. Somebody who just recently joined, and they're trying to do one of them scam things. They're a scammer, you know, when their account is like 2 days old and they're hitting you up for shit. It's like, yeah, I get it. I ain't dumb. It's the second time the same message from two different viewers. The exact same copy and paste message from two different viewers with brand new accounts, with nothing on their account. Do people understand how stupid they are to even... Oh, come on, you know? I know what it means. I just left a comment. I don't know what the heck this means. But I know what it means. It means they're trying to scam me. They're trying to get me to do something or say something or whatever. So, no. But go on with your bad seed phrase, you bastards. Fried says, I started before the signal who's the fucking name. That's what it means. Right? I mean, isn't shit tough enough without these fucking scamming fuckheads showing up trying to take you for everything you got when you don't have anything, right? And they got all kinds now because they just take it from everybody. Yep. That's the kind of world we live in. Right? Yeah. Please. So what's on the agenda for today? We're going to make ham and eggs for breakfast. Last night's dinner was awesome. Ham and scalloped cheesy potatoes and candied apples and sweet peas. And my wife took a big old plate next door to David. So we're going to have ham and eggs this morning, send over some leftover ham for a neighbor, and try to get the ham done in the next couple of days. Mainly, make some split pea soup. Right? It's winter time. Good split pea soup will be nice. So there's a big chunk of ham. So we'll take the big chunk of ham and dice it up and throw it in that split pea soup. Take all of the slices, and it's probably going to be ham and eggs this morning, and then tomorrow mix it up and have some grilled ham and cheese sandwiches, right? And then ought about do it between, breakfast, lunch, soup, and giving a bunch away. That should pretty much take care of the ham. I only got a 10-pounder, so it shouldn't be that hard to use it all up. My wife boned it last night. We made some extra cheesy potatoes. So we'll see how that goes. I think we've got enough to actually pull off another meal. We'll probably send some cheesy potatoes next door if he's a like that. If he's gonna like that, take us some more potatoes. Oh, yeah, my shirt. It's I don't have any holiday shirts, at least not that I can recall, so I didn't worry too much about putting on a holiday shirt. This is kind of, Snoopy's always been holiday for me. It was always those Peanuts, Charlie Brown specials on TV. That meant Christmas time. All of the peanuts on the lake, frozen lake, skating, right? All right, I'm gonna get coffee going here. Right back. You can still talk. Go ahead. I'll Oh, look at that. I hit the wrong one. How's that? That's where you're supposed to be. Look at that. Ain't that pretty? A stack of shit. Totally, man. Okay. So, I got my coffee. My tailbone still hurts. I think there's something wrong with me. That's an understatement. Sometimes I'll spend the whole day trying to figure out what's right. I mean physically inside. Oh, I also got a piece of pie with my coffee. Sweet potato pie. That's good. It's mushy. It's mushy. I wouldn't have used so much, what is that, allspice? Nutmeg. And I would have used less sugar. But it's okay for store-bought. Now that's good coffee right there. That's good coffee. Yeah, for sure. Oh shit! I got a bong hit over here, so I better eat my pie. Well, Merry Christmas, anyone, everyone. What is your go-to Christmas movie? I tend to go to Christmas movies I watched in the 1980s that aren't necessarily Christmas movies, right? Like I like Stalag 17 because there's a Christmas scene in there. So that one's kind of Christmassy. Of course, there's Lethal Weapon and Die Hard, which aren't Christmas movies, but they are. There's It's a Wonderful Life, but I never watched that. Maybe once I watched It's a Wonderful Life, and I don't even think I made it all the way through. It wasn't my kind of movie, right? Someone who suffers from depression and is often suicidal as a youngster doesn't need to watch that kind of movie. That was like Harvey, another Jimmy Stewart movie, a crazy guy that talks to an invisible rabbit. Another just sad, scary movie that I didn't like. Yep. With a Bad Seed. Now there's a good holiday movie. That one's another one. Anybody remember that one? I think it's Nancy McCormick. Little blonde girl. Just spoiled rotten. And kills a boy. And then kills the janitor. And she's just a horrible little kid. It turns out that her mother was a psycho as well. Yep. She was like Nellie Olson on steroids. Crazy. Totally. My wife likes that movie. Oh, that naughty little girl. I would just beat her. My wife, I just beat her. Yeah, me too. I'd beat the shit out of that kid. Of course, then she'd probably kill you in your sleep. A little psycho. A little psycho. Well, that's good pie. Goes good with coffee and bong hits. Coffee is hot and sweet. Sweet and hot. So look, it's been an hour already. Christmas morning. Christmas mornings used to be a big deal around here when our daughter was young, right? Like so many years ago, because she's kind of an, you hear that a lot, but she's kind of an old soul because she's very low maintenance. She's really headstrong. She knows right away what is for her, right? You know, she's real content with herself. She doesn't want a lot. She doesn't ask for a lot. It's hard to get her anything because she's like, no, I don't really want anything. It's like, you know, of course she pretty much anytime throughout the year, all she has to do is ask, and she knows that if we can, she's going to get it. Nowadays, if she wants something, she just gets it, right? It's just, she's an adult now. So it's really hard to get her something that we know that she's going to like and appreciate, and then isn't just going to be crap lying around. So, yeah. I mean, our Christmas is pretty much going to this concert Saturday. So I'm going to clean up the van. It's already clean. I'm going to dust it a little bit, maybe give it a wash. There's probably a few spider webs in it now. It's sat for a couple of days, a week or so. Get it cleaned up to take with us on Saturday. Mainly so we can have a go there early and tailgate and have a place to hang out. I want to sit outside in some chairs and chill out and hopefully get an opportunity to hear the guys warm up and get a photo and some signatures. That's pretty much it. So if we can get out there, get a good spot close to where they pass by to go from the venue to the little cabin. Yeah. And then it's just a matter of being persistent and watching and waiting, skulking and saying hi. I just try to be as nice as possible, you know. I'm a big kid when I see these guys. Even if they're, 20, 30 years younger than me, I still turn into a big kid. Even more so. But this artist, he's like my age, very talented, grew up in the same area, the same part of Southern California that I grew up in. So, at some point, back in the past, our paths probably crossed and we didn't even know it. Right? That's quite probable. That happens more than you think. More than you would ever conceive. More than you would ever fathom. You have come across people who you know now, and you've crossed paths with them so many times because it was inevitable that you were to meet. And it's just, and it's not that I, want to become bosom buddies with anybody that I go to see perform. I just want to get the most out of the experience so that I have the biggest memory connected to the biggest emotion kind of thing. It means more that way. Not that I'll ever see any of these people again. I doubt that I'm going to have the opportunity to see Big Sandy again after this. It took 2 years for him to come back out here. I don't get around as well as I used to. I'm probably going to have to take a stool cane with me to this show. Which reminds me, when I go to get that poster printed, I may get another cane. That sturdier one that we saw there. And then have my wife take one in. So that she's got a little place to sit too, because it can be a long wait between getting in and the show coming on, the show starting and everything. Once you go in, you can go in and out as much as you want, right? Which is really cool about this place. That once you go in and you got your wristband and you're, you know, so if I've got my cane stool to leave there with someone set up as a stool so that my spot is saved, then I can go outside, I can go to the restroom, I can get a drink. Usually go out and check on merchandise, but I don't think that he has any merchandise. He didn't last time. So what I would really love is a shirt, a Big Sandy shirt. So maybe with my daughter today, she will sit with me and we can create the stencil for a Big Sandy shirt. And I can try it out with some of the spray dye that I have. And just do a poor man's screen print, right? And see what happens. Spray, create something to print out, trace it onto hard paper, right? And then cut it out with a razor knife and in different sections. So cut out everything that I'm going to spray black, cut out just those lines. And then make another one, and everything that I'm going to spray, you know, purple or blue or whatever, then cut out just those lines, you know, and then mark each stencil together as one, so that when you lay it out, you can lay down one stencil and it lines up perfectly with the other marks, right? I could do that. That's something I could do. And then what I would probably do would be to make each screen, each stencil, right, the same size, overlaid so that everything lines up perfectly. And then on the shirt, lay one down, and then on the corners, create with tape, create this with tape, right, all the way around on the four corners, so that I can set each card in and line it up perfectly with the last, and then spray, and then do it again, and then surround all of that with paper and tape, so that I'm setting the card in and spraying, and I'm not getting any of the other color on anything else. I could do that in one afternoon. I would have to come up with something to cut out, some kind of picture. My daughter could draw a good cartoon version of Big Sandy. And then I could make the cards. And then I would just need a shirt. I would just need a shirt. So I could pick up a pack of shirts for a few bucks. And then just spray a bunch. Totally. Totally. Oh, yeah. Was I just gone? How long was I gone? Did I leave? I better do this bong hit, because I'm starting to... I need to come on back. Come on back to reality, man. Alright, I'll be back to reality in just a second. Cover me, I'm going in Vienna, Vienna. Totally, man. Totally. Looking up at a few Betamax tapes up here. Looks like I'm going to have to go on a Betamax movie binge here pretty soon. I got a shitload behind me. Down there. There's a bunch. Along with a bunch of 45s and some reel-to-reels and VHSs. I need to go through my storage and pull out a shitload of VHS tapes. I don't know where I'm going to put them. I'll just stack them up in a corner somewhere. Start pulling from them. Oh, I want to watch this. All right, that one's done. Just have an inbox and an outbox. I should be cataloging all of my movies as I watch them. I need a good database. That's what I need. Maybe I can get through. Let me take a look at my book here. I'll be right back. Alright, so this is a little old, but it hasn't changed all that much. Microsoft Office 2010. This is just an introductory book, but it does kind of get into each of the programs and how to use them. How to set them up. So what I need is a database. That's what I need. I need to be able to create a database using one of these programs, and which one is going to be the program that I need. Maybe CD, maybe C, database, data sheet, database, changing structure, closing, compact, and creating using templates. Okay, look up fields, creating, maintaining, maintenance, making mass changes. Okay, so if I use this, I could create a database design for, what do we got here? A, C, A, B, C, D, A, C, son of a gun, loogity boogity boogity, A, C. Database, AC5, database design, AC5, that would just be this chapter. AC5, that's page 5. No, AC, there we go. Maintaining a database. Database maintenance. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. To create a cross-tab query. See, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some database that I can create where I can then cross-tab stuff and say, okay, give me everything by this director. Okay, what do I have in my collection by this artist, right? That kind of a thing. And I'd like to be able to do that with pretty much everything in a database. Database and database objectives or objects and introduction. So this is a pretty heavy section here on access. But this computer should be running on 2010. So it'll have this. It'll be updated, but it'll have that. And that is Outlook. And what is this? That one's about emails. So let's see. Maintaining a database, querying a database. Yeah, there's a whole chunk here, a couple of chapters on database stuff. Database, 3. So there's 3 chapters here on database. Let me go ahead and start here. And the program is Access. So there you go. Let me take a look in my computer, baby. See what I got. We're down to Microsoft. Oh. Microsoft. Jiggity, 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 jiggity. And what's it? Access. There it is. Access. So we're going to open up Access and take a look at it real quick and see what we get. See if they got any templates. Any templates that we can use and modify. A blank database. Asset tracking. Contacts. Students. More templates. Event management. Event management. Huh. That might work for donations and invitations and stuff. That's great. That's great. Home inventory. Lending library. Here we go. Lending library. That would have a collection of all of my stuff. Let's go ahead and create one and take a look at it. See what kind of stuff I get here. Drop down boxes. I can add stuff to these drop down boxes. There we go. Items. Asset list. So I can change that to LP collection, VHS collection, DVD collection, or movie collection, right? Movies and films. And then that could just be their create an element here for me to add whether or not they're on DVD or VHS. That kind of stuff. So that would work. An asset list. Okay, item. So I can change all of these, and then it'll show me how to change all of these to turn them into something new. In fact, I can go ahead and show you this because it's kind of neat. So this will be each movie, and I can change all of these fields here to reflect the different elements or aspects of each film. You know, category, I can do that, and it can be drama, science fiction, whatever. I can change this to director and studio and actors and media. I can choose VHS or DVD or whatever. I can change all of these to relevant fields so that they'll work for my needs. And this book, because this is This is Microsoft 2010. This is Axis 27 to 2016. So that's perfect. This will be just perfect for that book that I have. Okay. That's cool. That's good. That's a lot of time right there. That is a lot. A lot. So I need to learn how to use that program first, so that I can just set it up as I go along too. Set it up to start recording information and data and collecting it and saving it and storing it, but also be able to update the fields and stuff so that it reflects the new things that I found that I didn't put in before, which is going to happen a lot. Now, a lot of this information I can copy and paste rather than take the information, put the DVD or the film in front of me and say, okay, look, let me take all of this copy and let me type all of this information that I read. I can go to the internet, find that movie, find that information, and copy and paste it into the different fields and go to the next one. Even though that way is still going to be time consuming. That's a lot of information, depending on how far I want to go with it, right? Do I want to keep it simple? The movie title, the movie year, the director, actors, the 5 top actors in the film. I don't know. I should probably keep it simple. The film, the year, the director. And then maybe do a link in the database so that you can just click on a link and find the rest of the information. Have enough there so that on location, VHS, DVD, laser, whatever, so that I can Betamax, so that I know how to find it here at home, which is the important thing. Now that information I could enter really quick through the keys and just take the movie and enter 4, 5, 6 fields and be done with it and move to the next one. That would take about 1 minute to 2 minutes per film, right? And I could do that even, I'm only going to get, 30 to 40 done in an hour if I haul ass. And I've got hundreds, upwards of 1,000 at least, films. Not to mention records, LPs. What I need is a personal assistant, somebody who just sits here and does all of that. I need a clone. I need 3 of me. Halfway through the show, 6:30. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Anybody got any good Christmas movies? Come on, I asked this already. Anybody? I'm looking up at some Betamax tapes, and I don't see any Christmas movies. Maybe some that we watched at Christmas, like Benji, the original Benji. Yeah. It's like it. I'm sure I have some over here too that we probably would have watched. I know I've got a VHS tape of It's a Wonderful Life I might put that one on the TV here in the background. Whoa. What happened? Totally. It's just freaking out. Totally. How's my battle with depression going? It's going. It's going. I try real hard not to take it out on others. Sometimes I pop. And even though I'm not intentionally trying to take it out on others, my emotions can sometimes affect others. For the most part, I think my family gets it. I'm just an emotional guy. And sometimes I just pop. But that's okay, because, I allow them the same freedoms, right? What are you going to do, right? Everybody's got to have the freedom to just pop once in a while, That's going to need some heat. That is going to need some heat. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I think I can wrap up programming for the week of February 3rd this morning. I think I can get it done this morning here. 2 radio shows and 5 ed films. I can have that done before noon, before we leave at 11 to go clean. I don't know what we're doing today. I don't really know. I try not to pay too much attention to it. It's like, if we're going to do something, let me know that morning exactly what we're going to do, or the night before, so I can just kind of be semi-prepared for it. But I don't want to dwell on it. Like, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. Like that happens here with this stupid shit. And, work isn't a big deal. It's a no-brainer, And that's what I love about cleaning, is I just go and I clean the same way every time, regardless of how dirty it is or it isn't. I just clean the same way every time. And that's how I do it. And then there's no mistakes. There's no forgetting. It's a routine. Oh, I hear a dog. I'm going to warm up my coffee and get a dog. Be right back. Yep. So I guess this morning it's ham and eggs and potatoes. A big old mess of ham and eggs and taters. I think I'm going to do taters a little different. I think I'm going to chop them up in a different shape and give them a little bit of a boil so that we blanch them, right, and get that, hi, how are ya, and get them, kind of a little soft, and then put them in a casserole dish with some onions and some butter and olive oil. Mix it all up nice and mixed, and then put it in the oven and roast it, and just let it roast. I think we'll do that this morning. Let it roast in there for a good 30 or 40 minutes or an hour or whatever it takes to get it nice and baked. And then skillet fry some of that ham and do a mess of fried eggs. It always reminds me of that little Rascals cartoon where who is it? Stymie. He's going to I think it's Porky. No, not Porky. One of those kids. And he's going to him and he's saying, "Hey, you ever heard ham and eggs talk?" And he says, "No." So he takes him into the kitchen. He puts all this food in the skillet, and he says, "You hear him talking now?" And he says, "No, I can't hear it." He says, "I don't know about you, Van, but them ham and eggs is talking to my stomach." Oh man, that's always remember that when I think about ham and eggs in a big skillet all frying together, right? Yeah, Stymie was one of my favorites. Yeah, in fact, he's in one of the Lethal Weapon movies. I don't remember which one, but he plays a police detective. He's also in the movie They Live with Roddy Piper. It's a John Carpenter movie, They Live. Keith David is in it. The guy from Platoon who takes Charlie Sheen's character down to meet the heads, right? That was cool. That was for a second that I looked up in my numbers. It freaked me out for a second because my numbers said the viewers were like at 5, which means that there were 4 other people watching besides myself. And now I'm down to 1. So that was kind of weird. My numbers never do that in the morning when I'm live. I never get big numbers, and rarely does anyone who does stop by say hello. Joey, he always stops by and says hello. Even if he doesn't say anything the whole time he's there, he'll say goodbye. I was here. But that's cool. It would be nice to make some new friends or reconnect with some old friends and or relatives, if there is such a thing. But most mornings I pretty much spend alone, which is why I chose the morning, because I thought any other schedule and I would really run the risk of having a huge audience, and I think that would be a little too much at first, right? When I go live at night with some music or something, that, right, what you call it, out and about at a concert or at a show or something, and I'll go live that way, I get a lot of views. I'll get like 20 something views all at the same time. But this show, not so much. I don't get so much of an audience with this show, thankfully, because I tend to ramble, and because of my freedom of speech, there's another dog, I tend to speak my own fucking mind, and it pisses people off because, they're allowed to speak theirs, but if they don't like something I say, then I'm the devil. Be right back. man. Just because they're up and moving around doesn't mean they know what the hell they want to do, right? Those dogs, they just get up. I want to go in here. I don't know what I want to do. I want to go back. I want to go outside. Whatever. Oh, man. So, my brother having health issues recently is kind of prompted me to start thinking about my own health issues, which are plentiful, man, I'm telling you. But after so many years of pain, you just kind of get used to pain, and then when you get other pains, you just accept those pains as new pains, right? Because that's what you do, right? It's like I got this neck pain. This neck pain becomes the shoulder pain becomes a neck pain, that becomes a back pain, that becomes a head pain, and then when other little pains pop up along the way, knee pain, stomach pain, back pain, kidney pain, whatever, you just think, there's another pain, and you just add it to the tally, right, and endure until that pain changes, subsides, turns into another pain. I used to go to the doctors with all of my pains, and they would either prescribe me stuff or run tests and tell me that they could run more tests, but they're going to hurt. And they would talk me out of doing more tests. Jeez. Gotta wake up, Mom. No, she's not leaving today. Oh, pardon me. She's got the day off from helping her friend because it's Christmas. So, pardon me while I'm good. I'm off camera here. I can adjust here. That's better. So we are going out to clean a house somewhere today, somewhere here in town. One of our 4 houses, soon to be 3 houses. One of the houses is turning monthly, which is kind of a bummer. It cuts down on our revenue, but at the same time, it's someone who's moving from out of state who is going to be an asset to the community. Her and her boyfriend are artistic and musical and creative, and they're coming here because of exactly that. They want to take advantage of the scene out here, the art and music scene, which is very cool. So I left her with my information, hoping that we were going to be neighbors, and so we are going to be. After the first of the year, they're moving in. Hey, Joe, good morning. Merry Christmas. How are you, brother? I've just been sitting here, blah, 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 talking to myself, thinking about, stuff. Christmas have passed. What was your best Christmas, right? I should ask. That's like a bummer question because I'm trying to find my best Christmas. That's a hard one because I have a shitty memory, first of all, and most of my Christmases have been unmemorable or stuff that I've tried to block out, right? Okay, I think probably one of my favorite Christmases was I was going with a girl named Michelle, and her sister was going with a guy named Blaine, who happened to be a friend of a friend, right? And a friend of my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. So I was kind of the new guy in the picture. Nobody really liked me except Michelle and her sister's boyfriend accepted me and treated me cool. And I remember one Christmas we drove out and it was foggy and it was rainy and we left the house in a car so we could go out and park somewhere and get high, right? But we went down a dirt road that was wet and muddy and we got stuck. So we got stuck in the mud on a Christmas evening and had to walk back to the house and get another vehicle to come and pull us out and all this stuff. And it was just really neat, So that was a neat Christmas. Hanging out with my friend Andy. And his family on any Christmas was always fun back in Elsinore. All of my good memories from Christmas of the past are probably from Lake Elsinore. A lot of great holidays. I never really had any good school memories, but the after school or ditching school or weekend memories or summer memories, holiday memories, those are always good. I would always leave home on the holidays as quick as I could. On occasion, our parents, my father, would give us each like a $100 bill or something. Once we got to a certain age, they stopped buying gifts, and if they had the money, they would just give us some money and send us on our way. So I'd take some of my money and I'd buy some weed and go find a friend to hang out with, and then I would take probably the rest of my money and go to the swap meet and buy just a bunch of stuff at great prices. And I would buy new clothes and shoes and garb to wear, you know, metal gauntlets and spikes and chains and shit. But for the most part, the holidays were just hanging out with my friends. And so I just get a big sack of weed. You know, sometimes I would just take a sack of weed from my parents because they were usually selling it. And I would just take a sack of weed and find some people and go hang out. And it's like, hey, dudes, let's get loaded. Sit under a pepper tree somewhere and hide from the world and just get loaded. Just get fucking loaded, man. To be a teenager. And also in Southern California. Yeah, I mean, I watch these throwback movies and shows like that 70s show, that 80s show, that 90s show, the movies, the Stone Age, and what is that other one? Dazed and Confused, and those types of movies. And they don't really compare to the movies of yesteryear when they were made during those, you know, like the show Square Pegs, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Over the Edge. Yeah, those kinds of movies, to me, they compare to the reality a lot, but it's another thing to have been there and have actual memories of those periods. I mean, when I think back to the 80s and a specific event, I mean, I'm overcome with sights and sounds and smells and tastes, and, you know, yeah, it becomes really, really overwhelming, powerful. So what's going on, Joey? What are you doing? What's your favorite Christmas movie? Oh, you don't watch movies. If you did watch movies, what would it be? Dumbo? What are you guys doing today? It's got to be late over there. It's got like almost noon, like almost 11 or something. I'm going in. Yeah. Totally. Polar Express. See, there you go. I love that movie. Those polar bears are so nice. No, I know what you're talking about. That's that Tom Hanks one where he does a lot of voices and characters, and it's all animated, and they use their actual faces. They record their faces and they animate from their actual faces. Yeah, that's a great movie and a great story. It's really cool. I'm not a huge fan of modern Tom Hanks stuff after the 80s. There's a few things in the 90s that I can appreciate, but for the most part after that, it's like, eh. But Polar Express is one of those that I really, really like. Yeah, that's a good one. There's no polar bears in there. Oh, yes, there probably is, right? There's probably polar bears in there. I don't remember. I remember hot, hot. I remember the hot chocolate song. That was one of my favorite scenes in there. And that little kid who's got the voice of Melvin from War Games. What the hell is that guy's name? He's got a weird name. Had a weird big face. He also played a weird, goofy guy with a ventriloquist dummy in the movie 1941. God, I can't remember his fucking name. It'll come to me at some point. In the middle of the night, I'll wake up screaming his fucking name. Yeah. What other good animated Christmas movies are there? There's a whole bunch of Christmas movies. Like Elf, I'm not a fan of what's-his-face. I don't even like to say his name. I hate that fucking dipshit. Anchorman. I hate that fucking guy. The Elf, I'm not a fan of that movie because you got to watch him, right? And he's always doing the same fucking shtick. I mean, the guy's what? He's got to be like pushing fucking 60 or something, and he's still doing that same dumb cheerleader character that he did on SNL with what's-her-face, 30, 40 fucking years ago. It's just stupid. He's just a fucking idiot. He's a moron. Now he's got a commercial out, right, where he does the same fucking shtick, singing about a fucking credit card. And he's the same idiot. Some actors, you can't even call them actors because they don't act. They just do the same stupid thing. Look at me, I'm stupid. I don't get it. I don't get it. There's so many of those out there now where their stupidity is their own fucking brand. Really? Come on. Grow up. He's got no... Yeah, no wonder he's doing stupid commercials now. Who wants to put him in a fucking movie? He can't act. He just does the same fucking thing. If you need that character, you go to that guy because that's all he can do. He does it really well, if that's what you like, but that's all he does. It's like you need a good cowboy, a good old school tough cowboy. You went to John fucking Wayne, right? Because that's all he did. He did nothing else. Sometimes he did an old gruff police detective, but he was in Texas or something, and he was a man out of his place because he was I don't know. I don't go in for actors who have no fucking range whatsoever, yet they become so popular doing the same stupid fucking thing. That's why Eddie Murphy quit acting, because every movie he was in, they wanted him to do the same bullshit, and they wanted him to do the same stupid laugh. Jim Carrey, same fucking thing. Jim Carrey, of course, came back, needed the money. Eddie Murphy came back, needed the money. And what do? They come back, they do the same thing. Jack Black just came back with a new stupid-ass fucking movie where he does the stupid fucking Jack Black shit. Because that's all he can fucking do. He's been tasked with doing stuff other than Jack Black, but nobody likes it. Nobody wants anything other than the stupid Jack Black jumping around acting dumb. And that's a shame. But it's also a shame when you get actors who do that really well, who do that funny guy, that slapstick, that comedy acting, and they do it really, really well, but they become so full of themselves that they leave all of that behind, and then all they do is drama. And every once in a while they do something funny, but it's not as funny as they used to do funny because they're so into drama and they're so full of themselves now. Tom Hanks. Same thing. Back in the 80s, Tom Hanks killed everything he fucking did. Even if it was stupid, he killed it. Right? Nothing in Common with Jackie Gleason was probably one of those movies where he wasn't so great. What other movie? He made not many movies he made in the 80s were bad. In the 90s, for my money, he started going, after he got his 2 Academy Awards, he started going different. He started going after movies that would get him another Academy Award. And every once in a while, he'd do something fun and different. But I just fell out of interest with Tom Hanks, Just never quite became entertaining again. I can deal with some actors that I don't like in live action. I can deal with better in animation. You know, Tom Hanks. You know, that was one of the things that he did, Polar Express, that I liked during that whole era there. So, yeah. What's his face? The Anchorman guy. I don't even like to say his fucking stupid ass fucking name. It's probably not his fucking real name. But nobody, don't type his name. Don't type that stupid fucker's name. But yeah, he did that Megamind. Is that what it was? And that one's okay. I can watch that movie because that shtick that one fucking shtick guy that he can do, it fits that character, right? I can't watch Anchorman because he's doing just a different part of that character. It's just, and you have to look at his face. I cannot stand to look at his face when he does his attempt at acting, right? When he tries to act as a character, but he still drags that same old bag of tricks along with him. You know, here's my new mask, and it's the same fucking mask. You know, at least Jim Carrey could do something different every time he did something that was different. But even then, still, it was Jim Carrey. For a while there, he would just do the Jim Carrey shtick, from Mask to Pet Detective to the next fucking stupid thing where he'd come along and just be a goofball. What was that? This stupid idiot movie. Yeah, him and the other guy on his broke tooth fucking face. That was another stupid movie. And of course they did a fucking sequel how many years later? And they're still stupid? Yeah, that I believe. Still stupid for more money. Yeah, but it's a shame when you know that they're capable of more and they don't do any more. Or you know that they're not capable of any more and they keep going and doing the same fucking thing and they get away with it. You know? Please no. Or they feel that they've gone beyond what they used to do and they don't do the cool stuff anymore. You know? And then you just, like Tom Hanks, like, I'm just done with you, man. I'll watch your old shit 20 times in a year. You know, the same movie over and over and over again. But I don't even want to think about some of the newer shit, you know. Terminal is a good one. That's like, one movie in 10 years that he did that was good. For my interests. I guess Castaway was okay, but it's not. These aren't movies that you can watch over and over and over again and have fun with, like you can with Dragnet or Big or Joe versus the Volcano or Mermaid. What is that? Splash. Or Volunteers. Any of these fucking movies I can put on and I can watch every fucking day and laugh every fucking single time I watch them, right? And enjoy them and go on that adventure. You can't do that, with anything past, what's his face? Forrest Gump, right? Forrest Gump is one of those movies where you can have fun with it and you can watch it often, but after a while you realize what he's doing and where he's going, and that this is his transition, leaving that old Tom Hanks behind. And and there's not much about post 80s, post 90s Tom Hanks that I can get into. Once he collected 2 Academy Awards, he just became the Hollywood diva. There's a line in Dragnet, where he's walking into this mansion of this nudie magazine mogul, right? Like a Hugh Hefner type guy. And he walks into the mansion, and this huge giant pool, and just a bevy of beauties all around, sunbathing and sitting out and laying and reading and relaxing, and some girls even knitting and doing needlepoint and stuff. And they're all just hot, 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 right? There you go. And Tom Hanks looks around and he goes, someday I'm going to own a place just like this. And I'm looking at that mansion that's right there in Hollywood. I'm thinking, you know what? He probably does. He probably owns several mansions just like this at this point in his life, or has owned big, giant, huge ass fucking pieces of property. I know that at one point they moved down to Rancho Santa Fe, California, down in San Diego County. And it was a big deal that he and Rita Wilson moved down. They bought a house down there that they probably stayed at, you know, a half dozen times. But you gotta be making a lot of bread to live in a place like that. So I imagine that, you know, he's got a lot of property. Or maybe one house, you know, I don't know. I think if I were to win the lottery or have a huge successful career or something and could afford to, I would probably not live in one place. I would have places, seasonal places that I would go to each season of the year. All right, it's like I'm going to spend the summer here, I'm going to spend the fall here, I'm going to spend the winter here, and the spring over here. And I would travel around, and those would be the places that you would see me every year. You'd see me show up in those places, right? And I would probably timeshare those places with friends and family, or have a little guest dwelling on each one of those pieces of property, so that in each one of those pieces of property I would have a friend or relative living there, actually living there, so that the place wasn't like going to waste, right, throughout the rest of the year, you know. And then you have the opportunity to stay there when I show up, or go on vacation or whatever. Fuck, I don't know. But I'd like to do something like that, and not fly, and not leave the country, but travel between places. And each time you travel from here to there, travel a different route and see something different. Take longer to get there, you know. That, to me, that would be living right there, you know. So if anybody out there just wins the lottery, wants to buy me 3 or 4 houses and a big motorhome, that's what I want to do with the rest of my life. Not that there's much left. Not that I would see many seasons anyway. But what do you do, huh? What are you going to do, huh? Oh, man, it's 7 o'clock. Look at that. That means my wife should be up within the next hour. She usually can't sleep past 8. She went to sleep early, so I don't think she's going to be up early. I know my daughter's not going to be up early. She probably won't be up until well, she might have set her alarm, because I said that we'll do breakfast around 9. So when my wife gets up, we'll probably start potatoes and get that in the oven, so that at 9 we can start thinking about making breakfast. I can do that. I can totally do that. Yeah, man. So I made a Video Time Machine short. If you haven't watched it, check it out. Check it out. Vienna, Vienna. If you haven't listened to Vienna, Vienna yet, check it out. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. I love it, in fact. If you haven't heard anything by Big Sandy and his Fly Right Boys, check that shit out. You're going to become a rockabilly fan. Yeah. And I don't have much to do this week other than clean a house a day, upload as many uploads as I can a day, create as many videos as I can sit here and tolerate creating, and get ready to go to the show on Saturday night. And I think I just need to clean the van out and get it dusted and feeling good, put a couple of chairs in there so we can set some chairs out, try to get my posters printed so I can get those signed, and then wrap the gift I have for his wife. Let's see, what else? Pick out something to wear. Maybe get with my daughter today and think about making a shirt or two. And then if we come up with the stencils, then do some practice tries, and then go out and buy a little pack of shirts and do a few shirts. He and I wear different size shirts, so it would be hard to do unless I bought individual shirts and then make him one. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. One of my, I don't like to call them resolutions, but one of the things I want to change, my annual, something I want to change, a change in my life, is to be more creative. Do more creative stuff. Hi, Bessie. Good morning, Bessie. Hi, big face. Big face, big face. You want to get up over here? Huh? You want to get up over here on the chair? You can get up here. You can get up here if you want. Hi, baby. There's water. There's water. Hi, Bessie. Big Bessie. How you doing? How's it going, Bessie? Hi. How are you? How's it going? Yeah, good girl. What's going on, baby? Silly girl. Mm-hmm. Totally. Hi, big face. What do you want to do? Huh? What do you want to do? You want to lay in this chair? Lay in this chair? You want to get up here? You can get up here if you want. Oh. You don't want to get up? Oh, I see. You want to say hi. How are you? Hi, Big Bessie. Oh, how are you? With your big nose and your big face. With all these little dogs around, you're just gigantor, huh? Come on. Want to get? Want to shake? You don't know what you want to do? Big paw. Big paw. Hi, big paw. Hi. Hi, Bessie. Yes, Bessie. Oh, calendars. We need to get calendars. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll go out and get a couple of things printed, and get a couple of calendars and start working on calendars for the next year. We have to keep a running calendar for houses that we clean. So we developed a color code. Better check to see if she wants to go out. Let me be right back. Happy holidays.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, honey. Oh yeah, sugar lamb darling. Oh yeah, baby. All right, I'm back. Tell your wife I said Merry Christmas. I'll do that, Joey. I will do that. She should be up
probably in the next hour or so. Everybody's still asleep here, except for me and Big Dog. Yeah, I was awake before my alarm this morning. Wide awake. I probably got up 3 times last night between the time I went to sleep at 11ish, and between then and when I woke up or got out of bed at 4:20 this morning. Yeah, I got up at about 3 times, and didn't sleep all that great. I'm sure I had a dream at some point, because I woke up to take a leak sometime in the night and felt weird, like I had been in another world. Mostly I don't sleep long enough to get into a deep dream cycle. I'm usually down for about an hour, hour and a half, and then I'm up taking a leak, adjusting, rolling around. Pain controls my sleep. Sometimes I really have to crash hard, and I'll go down for 8 hours, 10 hours. But I really gotta work to make that happen, right? I really have to physically work, do something to make that happen. And then I don't like to, because I go down for that long, and it just, if I stay in one position for too long, it hurts. Just sleeping, the minimal sleep I had has affected me greatly in the neck region. It hurts. Oh, look, a bong hit. I'm going to do this bong hit, Lord. Cover me. Cover me. I'm trying to avoid pulling out all the movies. You know, VHS and DVDs and all that shit, because I just got tons of it, and I don't want to clutter up the place with it all now. I would prefer that I have a place for it all that makes it all accessible, and then every week I can go through with a box or a tub and collect elements for an episode of stuff to talk about. You know, I'm going to talk about these movies, so let me collect those movies on whatever media they're on, and then gather up whatever else I can come up with for those movies, physical props, and then come up with internet stuff, photos and videos and that kind of stuff that I can use, movie trailers, and actually talk about each movie. That's going to be fun. And because I've got so many of these movies on you know, their media sources, for me it creates a connection to those movies, which is why I have actual physical copies of movies and books and tapes and all of that shit, because I like the, you know, Joe, you know what I'm talking about. You like to have those records and tapes and shit with you. I'll sit and put on a record and sit and look through the artwork that I've looked through 100 times, you know, and just enjoy that connection, that physical connection to the music. There's the dog back in a flash. Last time we went out to Pappy and Harriet's and met some friends. My wife made tamales, And we took a bunch of tamales with us. And our friends showed up. We sat around outside the van and ate a bunch of tamales and stuff. and actually invited the band, but the band had just eaten ribs and stuff. Barbecue from the restaurant. So I think this time we'll probably try to make something else that's fun to do a little picnic. And yeah, something. And sit around out there and enjoy the whole kind of event. Mainly I just want to be out there and do a little early tailgating so that if I have the opportunity before the event to say hi to the group and get some autographs and photo, that's what I'm looking for, right? To create those memories with actual physical connections to what's going on and positive emotions and stuff, which I didn't do a lot of that growing up, which is why some of the personal things in my life I have no memory of, but some of the peripheral shit I remember perfectly clear. There you go. That's fucked up. Yeah. So, right now in my life, it's just all about making good memories for me and for my family. A together thing. I got some more of this, whatever it's called, snow caps stuff. It's good. Horrible, actually, because I'm smoking it, so it's probably killing me. But it deals with, it's like side effects, right? The side effect is you're smoking it, dumbass. But the benefits are that, I'm actually social. I never would have done a show like this without a steady supply of marijuana, right? I gotta go check the dog situation. Buddy? Hey, bud, come on. There you go. There you go, bud. There's my buddy. My buddy is here. My buddy. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Hey. How you doing? Okay, let's put you over here. And then, oh, I see how you are. There, and then you're going to be, wrong way. Let me take you back here. There you go. Just see the top of your head, though. That's it. There you go. All right, now we can see just a little bit of this guy. And he's tired. But he's my buddy. He likes to hang out with me. Small dogs are great therapy dogs. They really are. This guy's done a lot for me. And he came to us in the middle of the street on a rainy day. So he was a gift sent to us from somewhere by somebody, I don't know. I don't believe or disbelieve in stuff. I'm just pretty much open to anything. So there's that. So who knows? Who knows? But he just showed up, and our dog was like 15, 16 years old and was really old. and hated to be alone, and we often had to leave, and we would come back and the house would be destroyed because this old guy would just be trying to get out, right? He was alone. Separation anxiety. And after we got Sam and brought Sam home, Sam would just sit with him and just lick him, and the dog, Charlie hated this Sam, just hated his, but he stopped tearing the house up. He stopped freaking out, stopped whining all the time, just sitting there whining, Charlie, shut up, because he would just sit and squeak, right, for no reason. So after Sam came around, that all of that stopped. And our family dynamic changed after Sam came around, even after Charlie passed away at 17. You know? Yeah. Mainly because we'd never had a little dog before. And he is something special. He's something different. Unique. He's full-on dog. He has all dog traits and characteristics and instincts and everything. But he totally involves humans in his dog world. It's like, hey, check this out. You know, who are you? What's going on? And he takes to people real quick if he wants. And he likes people who accept him for who he is, you know, and who don't want him to, you know, go away and stop being a dog, stop licking me, stop, you know, jumping on me, stop doing this. But people who let him do whatever he wants to do, they really have fun with him, right? Because he's a hell of a dog. And the way he brings everybody together and brings the whole family and the other dogs and everything, and just kind of, he literally all day long runs around the house checking on everyone, making sure that everyone's okay. Spends a little time over here with this person, over here with this dog, over here with this person, and just moves around and checks everybody out. And always licks everybody and everything. Hey, how you doing? How's it going? Lick, lick. Hey, lick, lick. Hey, lick, 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 lick. Oh, walking around licking, you know, because that's the way he shows his affection. And, or he'll just walk up and sit on you, you know, and sit on you, and just be with you. Just walk up, sit on you, and lay down and go to sleep right on top of you, you know. Yeah. Or just come up and look at you until you acknowledge that he's looking at you, and then decide if he wants to jump on you and start chewing, or, you know, does he want to just start barking right at your face. Sometimes he'll just look at me and just start barking, right? And I know that he's got something going on, and I just let him express it. I just let him get it out, you know. And sometimes that'll lead to play. Sometimes it'll lead to a nap. Sometimes it'll lead to running around chasing his tail, running up and down the house, you know, trying to engage one of the other dogs into play. Yeah. It's never a dull moment with this dog, ever. Never since I walked out in the middle of the street and brought him home with hot dog pieces, right? Yeah. And he's the one that ties everybody together. You know, he is the yeah. He's the glue. He's the glue. What a hell of a dog. Hell of a dog. I've had a lot of dogs growing up. I mean a lot of dogs. I've had dogs get old and die of old age. I've had dogs that have gone missing. Dogs that have been literally taken. Dogs that have died horribly, right in front of me. I've been through a lot with dogs, more than with people. Dogs were always my best friend growing up, and because of my lifestyle and my family and father, we would sometimes go through dogs quickly, which was a bummer, especially when you were so close to dogs. There were periods where I would be really, really close to a dog, and then the dog would just turn up missing. Thanks, Dad. And I knew it was his deal, because he, on several occasions, had taken me with him to dump dogs off. Like, yeah, we can't take care of this dog anymore. You're gone. He's like, fuck, how would you do that? You know, and then make me a party to that? Your kid? Oh, it would crush me. It broke my heart. I hated him for a lot of these things that he did. It involved me, right? Oh, man. It's fucking horrible. I could never do that to a dog. When we found Sam in the street and we were trying to find his owners, thinking that he was lost, I soon realized that somebody dumped his ass off. And that was horrible. But when we were looking for his home, we were going to put his pictures up and file papers at the local shelter. And we drove into the shelter parking lot, and I rolled down the window, and I heard these dogs in the shelter crying. And I got to move past this quick or I'll start bawling. But I rolled down the window, heard these dogs crying, rolled the window back up, told my wife to turn around and leave. And don't ask me any questions, and don't turn around, and do not go back. And that's the way it was. Because I couldn't do that. After 2 or 3 weeks, we had already formed such a bond that there was no way I could go against the trust that I had earned already, So we kept looking around. We put ads in the paper and on the newspaper and Craigslist and the radio station. Made up flyers, I think, and went door to door throughout the whole neighborhood here where we found him. And nothing. And I mean, after I pulled him into my lap out of the pouring rain in the middle of the street and pulled him into the car while he was growling and trying to bite me, right? I knew right then I was going to keep him, because he was just, why would he be sitting out right in the middle of the street, right in front of our house, right? Unless he knew something that I didn't. So I just went with it. And I played the game, yeah, we're going to try to find his home, because I knew I had to do that to give my wife the time to fall in love with him. And he was horrible at first. He was a terror. He had horrible breath because he had been digging in the trash a lot, and whoever had him had been feeding him garbage. And for years he had these horrible stomach aches because they had let him eat stuff. And I don't want to go, but he's moved past that now. So, but it was bad at first. He would dig in the trash, and you couldn't tell him no. You couldn't even look at him and say no, because he would just growl and snap and snarl. Yeah, it was really bad. The poor guy had been mistreated and abused and malnourished, and had been taught how to play rough, right? But had been taught to be sweet and sleep in bed under a blanket. And so I think that he was with somebody young and, teens or 20s, and somebody who was old, or somebody who was young but maybe homeless, and they slept under a blanket together. I don't know. I just get the idea that he had a fucked up home life, this dog. So when he'd dig in the trash, we would just put kibble down and leave a bowl of kibble down all the time and put the trash up. There was never any reason to discipline him after that. and whatever other issues that came up, we just adjusted and dealt with slowly, gradually. You know, he used to play rough, but then he would play so rough that he would want to kill you. He would just get, and then I would just have to scream and yell at him to stop, you know. And now I can just use the N-word, no, at a certain tone, and he'll stop, you know. But he rarely will get overly dramatic when he plays now. Usually he keeps it pretty tame. He'll chew and gnaw and play and stuff, and then I can just say, calm down, and then he'll flip over onto his back and stick his feet up and gonna scratch his belly, you know. But the first couple of years was really hard, and I could understand with the way they had raised him and the animal that they had turned him into. They were scared of him and they didn't like him, and they probably tried to discipline him, and he went feral and snapped and bit, maybe bit somebody, and they just decided to dump him off because they couldn't deal with him. And I love a challenge, and I love a good problem dog, right? And he was that. He was a challenge, and he was a problem dog, and it took a long time to get him to where I could trust him at any time with the family and any of the other animals. I want to get a kitten to raise so he can have a kitten to raise, because I think he would make a great parent of a cat, right? But the yard would have to be completely enclosed and have some kind of screen over the whole yard, and there would have to be no way out for a cat, because I would want my cat to be able to go outside, but not outside into the world, right? Because it's just too dangerous. There's major roads all the way around here, and cats like to roam, you know? So we would have to raise an indoor, outdoor cat. A cat that goes outside into the yard and poos and pees with the rest of the dogs and comes back in with them. Build a tree house so he can go up and play in a tree house that's enclosed so he can't get out, but he can go up and watch the birds, you know. I think that would be really, really nice. But I would have to design everything specially to introduce a cat. Dogs can't get out of the yard over a fence. They're too small. Even the big one, she's too big. So it would have to be set up with shade screening all over, connected real tight all the way around the yard, all the way down to the fence and the wall. That's it. That's all. That's not a tall order. You know, a lot of screening and a little bit of adjusting. Make sure that there's no ways to get out down below, no ways to get out above. Have the screening go up to the tree and around the trunk of the tree up high, and just have the seams all run together at that tree. Yeah, that would work. Have some of the tree in the yard and some of the tree above the screen. Totally. A cat-safe yard. That would be great. And then just get a little baby kitten from a shelter. And I wouldn't be able to go. I wouldn't be able to go to a shelter and pick out just one animal. Yeah, once again, if you want to win the lottery and buy a big giant piece of property and let me live there and raise as many animals as you can bring, I'm there. I could spend the rest of my life doing that. Now, my father did that, you know. I could do that. I'd probably have to do it differently. I couldn't just free ball it, you know. I'm not a pioneer by any means. I'd have to have some creature comforts, to say the least. Totally. Can't believe it's almost 20 to 8. And my Christmas morning here is just about moved into Christmas programming. There's a lot going on today on the channel. At 9 o'clock this morning, Kmart Music premieres live at 9 and plays. There's only one song that's missing. It's going to go mute for a song. What the hell? Where'd the sound go? Where'd the sound go? Hey, where'd the sound go? Frosty the Snowman is one of those songs that I had to mute because the artist, it's all copyrighted for the whole world. Everything else has got copyright bummers for Russia, a couple of them. But for the most part, it's a great video of just a storefront and some Kmart music. It's a kind of a copy of another music video that you'll find all over. You know, everything that you find on YouTube, you can find 20 times by 20 different channels, right? And a lot of them are going after views and subscribers and likes, and I'm not going after any of that. I'm putting it out there in case somebody comes along and finds it interesting. They can find more of the same. You know, education films, the radio shows, shit that I love. I love watching education films from the 70s and 80s and before. It's where all of my education came from growing up. The TV shows that were a lot of educational films just put on TV. Yeah, TV shows that were much like educational films. Ooh, somebody's waking up. But yeah, I tried to pick out some programming for today that is really themed for today. Today's theme is people, and of course Christmas. So, and Native American studies, we're still doing that. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff. At 12:30 this afternoon, Lights Out is A Christmas Story, Lights Out. And we have 4 total old-time radio shows today because it's Old Time Radio Wednesday. So we just went with the same format, but we added a whole lot of shit. Stuff on the Pueblo Indians, right? The ones who built the stuff up under the rim, the art, the rock that comes up like that, and there's those buildings built under there, those structures, those adobe structures, right? So there's one on that at 11:30. It's the Pueblos. At 1, Who Are the People of America? 1:30, Home for Christmas. At 2, Fish and Totem. 2:30, People Along the Mississippi. At 3, Totem. It's kind of a musical ballet thing. 3:30, The Aztecs. At 5, a 2-hour video time machine. I put a lot of work into that. It should be a lot of fun. At 6 o'clock, America for Me. It's kind of a tourism video from the late 50s, I think. At 7, Rebuilding Indian Country, which is kind of a look at what America was trying to do to rebuild what we had done to Indian country, which wasn't much really, because not much has changed. And then at 8, finally, China, A Class by Itself, because I wanted to take a look at what's going on in other countries as well as what's happening here in the United States back in those days. The Video Time Machine at 5 o'clock. That's probably the highlight of the day, right? At 5 o'clock, so it'll be available at 5 Pacific Standard Time and 8 o'clock prime time on the East Coast. So, and it's 2 hours long, so it's a perfect prime time deal to watch. There's like 5 films, 2 music videos, a cartoon. It's just loaded with a whole bunch of stuff and a lot of commercials and movie trailers and a lot of Christmas themed stuff. So check that out. I'm going to put it on tonight and watch it. Last night I sat with my daughter and we watched the Video Time Machine short, and she really loves the opening. And that's why I want to sit and just create a whole bunch of original content, because it's so much fucking fun, and I can just go crazy creating all kinds of cool videos. Take that concert footage and just build it into a great video, with visuals and effects and sounds and good intro and that kind of stuff. Or take some friends' video and create a video. Take some of my own family video. What I really would like to do is observe the dogs and write a script for the dogs, and then get the dogs to do specific things. Get them to all lay on the couch, get them to look over here, get them to run out of the room, and do a bunch of stuff on video and tie it together and create like a Benji type movie, right? Something that I can do with not too much effort, use the dog's natural abilities, and write stuff that fits what they already know how to do, and then train them to do a few things on command, right? I could probably come up with a really neat little story. So, and get my daughter to help with the training of the dogs for certain things, because animal psychology is another thing that she should be interested in, studying psychology. She should, because we have 4 dogs, and dogs are a big part of her life too. She should think about animal psychology as well as everything else she's studying. So, training dogs, getting to know dogs, that's a big part of it. All dogs are different. All people are different. That is cold. Whew. Cold and sweet. Totally. Totally, man. But that would be neat. That would be neat. So that's one of those things that I want to get into, during my off time from the channel uploading shit. I want to have little projects that I can work on. Right now, the biggest thing that I want to work on is all of the post-production and production stuff for this friend's music video. So if I could just get, another day of work on this thing, then I can pump out a music video. I just need probably a few more elements and the music, and I can create a video. If I need anything else, I can just say, hey, get me this and this and this, and bring it over. Yeah. A calendar, a physical representation of my place in time, right? That's what I need. So I know each day, not just what house I'm going to clean, my appointments to wherever, but what I should be doing that day to achieve a specific goal at a date down the road. I literally have to go into the calendar 8 months and write in where the reunion is, and then work back from there what I need to do to get to that goal, to achieve that, and I'm getting to the point to where I'm going to need an actual budget, and that ain't happening, that ain't really happening too well. So I don't know where it's going to go. It may just be, okay, well, here's the place. If you want to come and stay, we'll get a house together, and here's your share. Or, look, we're going to camp, so here's where we're going to camp, and you can either camp or get your own place, but here's where we're going to camp and have the get-together. It's going to be small because nobody's donating, right? But it may get to that. I'm hoping it's going to be big enough that it'll, draw a lot of people. But who knows? I'm probably reaching far beyond anybody's wants or expectations. Because while people, want to do something big and get involved in something big, not many people really want to expend the energy or the resources to make it happen. I mean, I can spend a lot of time dealing with it, but I can't deal with a lot of the resources, right? So that's where we're going to probably fall short, where I can do a lot of legwork, but nobody else wants to do legwork. I can donate a little and I can help out a little with the whole thing, but nobody else wants to at all. So, and by nobody I mean more than, a dozen people at this point. Probably a dozen people have helped out, maybe 15, 16 people at the most. So, and only 8 people have decided that they want to come. There's a lot of people interested, almost 200, but still, how do I get interested to become, yes, I want to come, and how do I get it set up so that everybody who wants to come has a specific dollar amount that they have to have in mind to make this happen. Because I can set it up so that there can be a plan for just about any kind of budget. Here's the lowest budget and here's the highest budget, and here's a bunch of little different budgets in between. Where are we going to be at when we get to that point? What kind of budget are we going to have at a month, 6 months, 2 months? Where are we going to be? So that's pretty much going to dictate what the event is going to be all about and where it's going to be. And it's going to be who are the people who want to get involved are going to be involved all the way through. Good morning, dear. Merry Christmas. Joey said Merry Christmas. Huh? She said Feliz Navidad. Yeah, so, reunion. I want it to happen. I'm going to try like hell to be there. Make it happen. And at some point, it just needs to be in everybody's face all the time, so they realize that, the only way this is going to happen is by getting a lot of people to help. Because I can only do so much. I can only carry so much of the load. And then what? I carry it all the way, and then it just fizzles out, and it was all kind of what the hell was that for, right? I'm hoping it doesn't fizzle out. I'm hoping it starts to gain more momentum. And I just need a couple of people on board who can force the issue, keep the momentum rolling, keep everything moving in the right direction. And make that snowball bigger. Bigger and bigger and bigger. People from back in the day who used to be on all of the committees and the groups and the clubs and the cheerleader and the yearbook and all that, those are the people that I need. Those are the people that I need who were really into networking and socializing back then, old school style, who would still have a lot of connections today. And social media style, this should be a no-brainer. We should have 1,000 people saying that they're interested, and hundreds of people saying that they're coming, right? And we should have 1,000 people buying shirts, We used to have people lined up waiting for shirts. So I guess if that don't happen, I won't be too disappointed. I'll just be amazed, really, that people would have the opportunity to pull something like this off and then just go, Because I can only put as much of myself into it as other people show interest in it, right? I can't. If nobody shows interest, I'm just going to, like before, I tried to do this years ago and it fizzled out because nobody cared. A lot of people have showed interest now, so I put more work into it. I put a lot too much work into it so far. And people are still not showing enough interest in it. I don't want to have to, call it quits with the shirts. I don't want to call it quits with the reunion. A lot of people have already committed themselves to coming, at least as far as I've been told. They've committed themselves to being here, wherever here is, right? It's going to be in Elsinore. It's going to be at the Lake Elsinore West Marina, or an Airbnb on the beach there in Lake Elsinore. So, with that being said, it's just a matter of how many people want this to be bigger than just a camping trip, because I can organize all of this stuff and have all of these things planned and set up, but all of these people are going to have to carry out these things. I can say, okay, look, here's a map with all of the places that we're going to go to on the tour. Who wants to be in charge of the tour, right? I can't just go out and do everything. I can't take everybody on a tour, everybody on a hike, everybody on a bike ride. I can't go boating with everybody. I can't go fishing with. I can't do everything. I need to have everything planned out and have agendas and schedules and things ready to do, and then just let the people loose to go fucking do them, right? And put a few people in charge of a few things. I can do a lot of planning, but I can't be responsible for carrying everything out. So that's why I need people involved who can do that. People, good morning, Merry Christmas. People who can do all of the stuff that I'm not familiar with, right? Like raising donation money to get this going. That's tough. That's a tough call. I've tried to ask people who have donated already. I've tried to kind of say, hey, could you try to help collect donations? And I'm hoping that leads someplace, because if that does, it's going to lead to more shirts being made and different shirts being made. And if that doesn't work out, then is it all for naught? Do I just finish off the shirts that we're doing, pay up and quit? Just say I can't afford to make any more shirts, nobody wants them, yada yada yada. How much do I owe you? Let's just call it quits. I don't want to do that. I want to keep going. I want more donations to come in and more shirts going out, and I want it to have a viral effect on people, where they really, really want to see the next shirt. They're collecting donations at their work, at the schools, whatever, because they really want this party to happen, and they know that, they want to see the next shirt, they want to be at the party, they want to see all of those people, and until that really takes a hold of people, I feel like I'm just humping the bunk, I'm just kind of jerking off, stroking my own ego, and every once in a while somebody goes, gosh, your ego's cool, and and it makes me feel good and everything, but I don't want that. I don't want recognition. I want a reunion. I want to be able to see a bunch of these people that I haven't seen in 30 or 40 years, whatever it takes. So, and what it takes is a lot of people to help out. And yeah, cover me, I'm going in. All right. Well, this has been one fast morning. It went by really quick. It really did. Coffee's gone. Second cup. because it's little. I'm going to continue to... I'm done with the coffee. And, well, when I pee the last of it out, I'll be done with it. But I'm going to smoke a lot of weed today, man. I got pains that you would not believe. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I do hope that you will come back and enjoy all of the stuff that's happening on my channel today, all throughout the day. The video Time Machine at 5. At 9 o'clock this morning, Kmart music from 1974's Christmas. And a host of other films and radio shows and all kinds of kooky stuff all day into the night. The last thing is at, I think, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. So, yeah, just great stuff. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow in the morning, in the a.m. here, doing the same old, because that's what I do here. Thank you for joining me. My wife says Feliz Navidad to all of you out there, especially Joey. And we will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great holiday. And like always, be kind to each other. Spread peace and love, not bullshit. Do something for yourself, but just as much do something for somebody else. Why? Because we're together on this. We're not alone. Take care of that person next to you, even if you don't know them. All right. Most especially, remember to stay weird, because if you're not weird, ain't nobody gonna be weird for you. All righty. Love ya. Adios. I will see you mañana. Bye now.